So choosing yourself doesn't look good from the outside. Depending on how you've created your value to that person, it can look like abandonment, irresponsibility, a contradiction to your teachings. It really depends on how vigorously your exit is shaking that person's foundation. And that can be really challenging to navigate. So, in my journey, one of the cue points is do no harm. Your legacy is not just the economics you're going to leave behind, but your imprint. Like how you address things, how you did things, how you held people accountable, how you convince people that God is not punishment. That part, that's your legacy. As well as whatever currency you plan to leave your children, your true legacy is your imprint. That was a lot to sit with. At 51, I'm a life swimmer. And I've really had to sit with what it means to constantly swim, how that looks, what were choices you made, and what were choices available to you in tunnel vision, just like anyone else. I fell in love with neuro-linguistic programming because I love the idea of reshaping the brain. Because it's like, you know those puzzles that they make where it's like a corn maze and the brain kind of looks like that? So with neuro-linguistic programming therapy, you kind of change a dip or cause another dip in a dip. I'd have to draw it out for y'all one day, but if you ask me, I'll do it. And how that affects like our perception of things. Today in Sitting with Spirit, she was showing me table tennis, ping pong. The initial question was, backtrack. So yesterday I was talking to a friend and I was adamant about the fact that I am the creator and God is the co-creator, because I create and he co-signs. And his co-sign to me is like how it worked out. Because in my practice, I seek him before creating, but I don't necessarily ask his permission. I'm just kind of, yo, you there? All right, because I'm about to do this thing. And this morning, in conversation with Spirit, I said, okay, so are you the creator or am I the creator? And it was like a game of table tennis. And it was like creator, co-creator, creator, co-creator, creator, co-creator. And I said, okay, so you're the creator. And then it was my serve. And it was like creator, co-creator, creator, co-creator. And I said, okay, so I'm the creator. And my perception of the game of table tennis widened. And sometimes I was the creator and sometimes God was. And sometimes I was the creator and sometimes God was. And it just depended. And I was like, oh, I get it. It goes back and forth. Because I was above, so below, and that stuff, right? But it's always a 360. Everything comes full circle. And a few weeks ago, I was exiting work, and I belted out the lyrics to the Erykah Badu song. And since that moment, many points in my life have come to completion. 360. Done. You are right back where you didn't see it the first time. And you can see it, so put it away. So while these moments with spirit come with a battle of, am I procrastinating? Am I communing? Am I relaxing? It also comes with a huge relief that at some point I'll know. Because so far, everything I've questioned, eventually I know. Whether it's the answer I wanted or not, it's the answer. So let's see what other notes we took. Never let yourself be trapped. Never let yourself be trapped in the consequences of the way you learn. Like sometimes we make choices that make us feel really bad about ourselves and then dwell in how that looks like externally. And when you seek externally, it's like harvesting from a field that you didn't plant. It's like you're going to pick up a lot of stuff that's not yours. There were opinions, there was media. Like, don't do that. Stay within. Because the consequences of the way you learn are not the issue. The issue is the way you learn. And the gentler you are with yourself, the gentler the lessons come. If you don't need to have your hair pulled to pay attention, Spirit will give you a tap on the shoulder. You are definitely leading. As a few days ago I said, Spirit, you kind of an a-hole. And she said, you created me in your image. Point. What else did we talk about? Okay, that was like a war chant, a revolutionary chant. I hope y'all didn't hear that, because I just sent that to my boys for Monday morning laughter. I am every messed up thing. I was having a conversation in my head, and I was speaking to someone, and I said, I am every messed up thing you thought God was doing to you. I am every messed up thing that you think God is going to do to you. And I am every messed up thing that God is doing to you right now. But I'm here to love you, so somebody's lying. And I felt that. Because though I was having a conversation in my head, Spirit was also having a conversation with me. Like, I've had you the whole time. Sometimes you chose to see me, and sometimes you didn't need to see me. But I've been here the whole time. Every time you think of me, I think of you. Every single time. How do I know that? Because I'm always thinking of you. Let's see what else Spirit said. I need you to send me a voicemail. That's not what Spirit said. Hay que construir. There goes that chant again. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine. Yes. Same girlfriend I was speaking to yesterday was really struggling with the acceptance that her wife is no longer as forgiving as she used to be. And she said, I could just kind of see how that can eventually turn evil, because it's like you'd lose your compass. And I said, can I offer my opinion? And she said, sure. I said, forgive her. And she said, I can't wrap my head around that right now. And I said, well, if she's lacking forgiveness, then insert forgiveness. There is no good and bad. There's only love and a void of love. The void of love, in this instance, looks like a lack of forgiveness. Give her forgiveness. It's the perfect way to love someone that's lacking forgiveness. Sit with that. Next. There is no good or bad. There is love. When you share your brain, who's master? I wrote a book 3 years ago. Y'all know I don't tell time. And it was called 90 Days to Practical Positivity. And in it, I introduced a term called the BBR, the Brain Book of Reference, because our experiences create our Brain Book of Reference. And they're like this big library in your brain where you go seek information. And this morning, Spirit was showing me how we are the master of our brain. When we have a thought, the brain is like a little kid that runs to get whatever you just told it to get. It does not translate for you. I'll give you an example. It's raining. You're late for work. You can look outside and say, oh, I need to slow down because today's going to take taking my time. And the brain will run and get all the reasons why you need to take your time. Or you can look out the window and say, oh, I'm about to be late. And your brain will run and get whatever you need to validate that you're about to be late. And depending on how good you are at going to get that information, you can take it from the brain book of reference right into reality. Traffic. Stalling. Of all cars, you had to land behind the one that is not moving. Yeah, your brain did that. We'll get into that at some point because it's like, well, Gia, do you believe this is a game or yeah? So do you think we're alright? Yeah. Do you think we're God's creatures? Yeah. Well, you can't believe everything. The hell I can't. You don't have proof of anything. So I believe it all. Because all of it is just language. A way to open a path for someone else to understand. So if you don't understand it from that language, it's not yours. That felt like this was a good stopping point